Going on, gents? Today I want to talk about something that's often overlooked but incredibly powerful in FIFA, possession. And I'm not talking about just holding the ball for the sake of it or passing the ball around the back. I'm talking about using possession as a weapon to control the pace, frustrate your opponent, and ultimately win more games. So first, let's talk about control. When you keep possession, you're not just passing the ball aimlessly. You're dictating how the game is played. You choose the tempo, you decide when to attack, and most importantly, you're denying your opponent any chance to build momentum. Think about it. FIFA or FC is a game of rhythm. Once your opponent gets into a flow, they can become dangerous for 1, 2, even 3 sometimes in a matter of 10 minutes. But if you're constantly switching play, making short passes, recycling possession, you're breaking their rhythm before it even starts. They're chasing shadows while you wait for the right moment to strike. Now let's talk about the psychological part of this. The longer you hold the ball, the more frustrated your opponent will become. They'll start pressing harder, dragging defenders out of position, spamming their circle or square or any tackle button. And when that happens, gaps appear and boom, there's your cue. A through ball, a 1-2, a player lock, whatever you were looking for, boom, you get it, and all because you were patient. Possession makes your opponent impatient and emotional, and when people play emotional, they make mistakes, and that's something you need to look to exploit over and over again. How many times do you recall forcing an attack out of frustration? Maybe the other team scored a goal and you weren't a fan of. Right off kickoff, you try to boom, play to your winger, intercepted, and the guy has the ball again and maybe scores again. That's because you tried to force an attack out of frustration. How many times do you remember rushing out a central midfielder, a defensive midfielder, or even a center back, all because you were frustrated and you wanted to get the ball right away? 3 seconds later, he's probably celebrating. That's because you were frustrated. When you let emotion take over you, when you lack composure, these are the things that happens, and we all end up regretting it in the end. Most importantly, the more you have the ball, the less the other team has the ball. That's just basic math. If you try to have the ball 65% of the game, and if you're even lucky 70%, you're effectively cutting the other team's chances to score in half or even more. Even if the other team is good at counterattack, they won't have many counterattacks if they don't have many touches on the ball. So possession is also what I like to say defense. It's more of like protecting the ball. Instead of relying solely on your tackles or your goalkeeper or your interceptions, which we all know tackles and interceptions result in many bounce backs, and I can't find a lot of people anymore that put trust in their goalies. But we'll go back. Instead of relying solely on those, you're defending by keeping the ball out of their dangerous areas, out of the other team's hands. Less risk, more control. Now I'm not saying you should just pass it to waste time, hold it at the back, because we've all been there before where you're at the back, you're up by 1, it's 89th minute, and boom, you intercept it because it maybe didn't pass where you expected. Boom, now you're in extra time and you're frustrated and game can go either way, right? No, possession only works when you use it with purpose. That means knowing when to slow the game down and when to speed it up. You need to recognize when your opponent's line is stretched or when to make a quick pass into the box that's going to break them down. If you pay attention to some of the clips here, usually I like to take the ball wide, move his midfielders into the box, and then boom, quick passes around the box to get my goal. You'll see it with almost all of my goals. You're supposed to mix it up, not be predictable. That's why I go down the line, and then when I come back to the top, it's quick. Because even though it's more or less the same blueprint, the quick passes can never be predicted because there's 3 options and it's boom, right? Possession is about waiting for the right opportunity, not the first opportunity. So you don't just press triangle because you have incisive pass and it's like, oh, why didn't that go through? Because remember, you see the run, but you're also versing another human being that's more or less the same skill level as you in the majority of these games, especially a division rivals game. So he probably sees it too, right? So don't just attack at the first opportunity that you see. Be calm, be composed, To wrap it up here, possession in FIFA isn't just a style, it's a strategy. It gives you control, creates frustration in your opponent, reduces their chances, and opens up space when the time is right. It might not always be flashy, but that's effective, and that's how you win games.